What do you want, Robert? Good morning, gang. How are y'all doing? Man. It's good music. We're all good. Happy snowy Wednesday. The snow is not an April Fool's joke, and that's okay. I actually ran out of the office yesterday. It was the best April Fool's joke I'd ever heard. I have new tenants in my newly remodeled rental, and the wife was texting. There has been some water issues, but the wife was texting the husband about having water issues in the basement, and of course he texts me as a third party. I'm like, son of a gun, I just fixed that. I thought it was taken care of. So I'm gonna go home and take care of that. And then she texts me and is like, it's an April Fool's joke. Oh, like, you're killing me. Yeah, I got the heck out of there. So I was relieved. It was a good joke. I give her credit. She kind of felt bad. She kind of felt bad. They're lucky they're kind of friends of mine, so we're good. Did anyone else have a good April Fool's joke yesterday? Anyone?
Oh, I walk around here.
Powell lowered the interest rate down to 0.
Yeah. James Shaw actually had a good one. Maybe he'll tell us about it at 11:20 about the change to the pivot shift ahead. Facebook group. Anyone else?
Oh,
Nora came home. She was very, very excited. Mommy, Daddy, I brought home some brownies. They're in my backpack. Brown E, the letter E cut out of
Well, she's definitely your daughter then, right? Yeah, absolutely. Right on.
I was bothered.
Quick reminder to make sure cell phones are silenced, computers are silenced, so we can have a interruption-free meeting. We got a lot to cover today, but who's got a bucket to fill or some gratitude they'd like to share before we get started? Just the wrong button. You were close.
The wrong button.
There, you're starting now.
Well, I have a bucket fill. I want to fill Winona's bucket. She's been amazing. My agent, allowing them to shadow her for houses and just being a really good resource.
Love it. Big clap for Winona. I'll give a shout out to Anthony. He came over about a month ago now, and he has been like uber diligent in our one-on-one coaching. Every time he comes back, he does more than he said he was going to do. So I'm just excited to see where things go with him and his business. Who's got one more? Tom.
Fill Winona's bucket for letting me shadow her this weekend at the house.
Heck yeah, I love it. We'll give another clap for Winona. Love it. Absolutely. We have Abe with Pillar to Post. He's going to come up and talk a little bit more about his services with us, and then we are going to jump on Zoom here with James Shaw right at 11:20 sharp. So we might have a little bit different order today, but this is where we're going to jump in.
Cool.
Quicker, super easy. Just
Thank you, Joe. All right, well, for those of you who I haven't met, I see some familiar faces. I did a lunch and learn here probably last month, a couple weeks ago. And Faye, I'm glad you don't have the mug that's not going to judge my grammar. So I'm not out of the woods here. But just wanted to run quick really through. We're a preferred partner with the team here. So glad to be here. And I will be leaving some of this promotional stuff. I've got a little trifold. And then I've also got what's called a cost guide. So if you got any concerns or we come up on an inspection and it has something that we suggest that you replace, it's going to tell you the average price of that replacement. And on the back, it also tells you the expected or the life expectancy of appliances. So if you want one of these, I'm going to leave them up front. No sense in handing them all out. One other thing too is that we have AI translator earbuds. So if you have a client that doesn't speak English very well and they want to hear the inspection, the walkthrough in their native language, we use these. So I speak to my phone, it translates in real time. And just recently we joined Homes for Heroes. So we're a affiliate with Homes for Heroes. If you're not sure what that is, we offer some rebates for veterans, teachers, EMS, first responders. So just joined up with them. Okay. Real quick, so we've kind of evolved in the home inspection business. Everything's digital. We've got a homepage. We used to print these out on site. We don't do that anymore. It's all in a virtual portal. So when the client gets their report, they're gonna have everything in this portal. So you can see we've got the inspection, we've got the 360, and they'll get a floor plan if they upgrade to one of our premium packages. And I'll walk through those really quick here. So the report, here are the pillar reports. We want to use non-alarmist language. We don't want to scare people.
Love it.
Normally, what we tell people is you're going to get a 5-year maintenance checklist, and you can do it yourself or use contractors to do that. And then along the way too, we're also provide some educational materials. So we've got a whole host of different educational flyers to educate. Let's say you're not sure what radon is or how it works, or a fall checklist or carbon monoxide, like your water heater. Does anybody know what a backdraft in a water heater is? Okay, that's a big thing that needs to be checked when you're doing a home inspection. You don't want carbon monoxide in your house. So we provide those for clients. And then we also have a virtual tour. So every package we have has a 360-degree tour. I call it the Google Maps of the home. So they can click and revisit the home 1,000 times if they want to. That saves you a little bit of time as an agent of having to go back and revisit the house over and over and over again. Okay, and then if they upgrade to one of our premium packages, they'll get a floor plan with the house. So if they want to get some work done on it or know where to put furniture, this is a great way to do that. And then moving down, anything we put in the summary, $500 or more, health or safety concerns, they're going to get an estimate very similar to what you will get here, they will get digitally on what it would cost to repair. Not a contractor who's going to repair it, just what the cost is. So you can help negotiate when you're at the table and say, hey, we know the threshold was 2,000. The inspector found 5,000. We'd like to knock that off the price. And then if they also upgrade to one of our premium packages, they're going to get an appliance home manual. So we're going to take a picture of every data plate on every single appliance, including the waste disposal, the microwave, and including the big appliances like the HVAC systems. And they're going to get I think I got a slide here. There it is. So they're going to get a whole inventory. It's going to have the user manual, any recalls that might be associated with it, and where they can get replacement parts if they want to DIY. So there's just an example of like the water heater. You can see the manual. They can download the manual right here. Tells them it's 15 years. And then if they scroll down, you can purchase parts and accessories right there. And then the last thing we like to offer too is when they onboard, I have some rental properties too in different states, and I didn't know who to call or how to hook up my electrical. Like no one told me how to do that. Well, we help the clients do that if they're not sure. First time home buyers moving in and out of state, do they know that Excel is the power company or who's the natural gas? So we help them. They actually get on the phone and someone will walk them through step by step on how to do that. I think that's it. Questions, comments, rude remarks? Take them all. What's the cost?
Okay, you're at an inspection and you find something that you're gonna point out to the buyer. And you say, well, it's gonna cost $2,000 to fix it. What is your suggestion to the buyer?
So we won't call that out during the inspection. That'll come out later.
What will come out?
The cost estimate.
Okay, but what do you suggest the buyers do?
If it's like a $2,000 repair.
Mhm. How should they handle that? This is a trick question, Abe.
Okay.
Here's the answer.
Lately.
Not my business. To your agent.
Well,
That's.
yeah, I would say negotiate with the
Your agent.
table with your agent. Yeah, use that as a bargaining chip or something.
No, you don't do that either. You talk to your agent about it. You know, that's not your bailiwick, it's ours. So you make no suggestion about what the buyer should do.
Yeah, I would, yeah, exactly right. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm just basic. What's the cost?
yeah, great question. I don't get the trick questions. Yeah, so the basic cost, so let's say a 2,000 square foot home would run you about, a basic package would run you about $470.
Does that include a radon test or?
Nope, radon test would be an additional added service. So radon, we charge 200. Sewers, 225.
Can you do a sewer inspection too? You can
Yep,
do the sewer line?
chimney, sewer, mold, water testing, all that.
Like, I've done sewer inspections, you know, for buyers. I've elected, we've got Ron the sewer rat or someone, but you
We
have-
partner with Drain Busters on that.
Okay.
Yeah, so we outsource that.
So if they hired, they said, let's go with pillar and post. We want to do a sewer inspection as well. When they order it, when we order the inspection, do we just say and?
Yeah, when you go to purchase the inspection, you'll be able to select any added services you want.
And Drain Buster gets in during that window for you?
Yeah, we coordinate all that for the client. They don't have to do any of that stuff. Usually it's during the inspection.
Chimney water and mold, how much are those? Do you know offhand?
Chimney, I believe, we don't get them there often, so it's, I think it's somewhere around $200. Mold, depending on the test you get, can be upwards of 400, 425. And then we also do ERMI allergen, which is a very expensive test. We've had some people request that. It tests like 30 different types of ERMI. So those kind of get a little spendy. People with allergies tend to, or asthma tend to request those.
When you do the mold, is this like, you have a stucco house, do you do the little mold?
We don't do that. We will just do a visual inspection on the stucco. If you want a specialist, we don't do any of that.
They're not the invasive function, what's considered.
Correct, we don't do that. I mean, we have a moisture meter that will kind of puncture the stucco and we can take an instant reading.
So you do surface.
We've got infrared cameras,
You do surface. and-
surface and air mold, yeah. Yeah. So,
Can you talk a little bit more about the allergen thing you were saying?
yeah, so ERMI allergen is where we have to do we do a square meter, 2 sections of the house, and we vacuum, and we need at least 100 grams of dust. And then we seal that off and take it to the lab, and it takes about 4 days for them to figure out what all the allergies are in there. Yeah.
And then what's the so, you know, if it's 4 days or probably something that's gonna be outside the inspection contingency, but there's probably some useful information in that test for my client, you know, clients with a lot of allergies. So then, you know, regardless of if we're outside the contingency, you guys come back with what kind of results and then what are the fixes for those results, or is it just like an FYI, just so you know, you've got this allergen?
Yeah, so we'll do our best to help them understand the lab results, because you know, those lab results are like volumes of information, and it can be very overwhelming, but they just have to digest it, and we'll help educate them on what it's saying, but you know,
But there's no like remedies, like you've got,
no, it's just that,
So it's
it's just the
information.
data, yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And they run, how much did you say to conduct it?
The mold test is over $400, yeah.
What about the allergen test?
So that allergen comes free if you go to our highest level Prestige. We don't usually price that out individually. And the Prestige is like, we had a Prestige ordered last week, and I was very upfront with the buyer, but I go, what's your closing date? Because this test is gonna take 4 days, and he goes, I won't get it till Friday. He said, we'll close on Thursday. I said, do you want a refund on that? Because there's no way you're gonna get the information back. He's like, yeah, so we ended up refunding that plus the water, because the water takes a few days too, so. But yeah, it's
So there's no like set price, then if you were to call up and say, hey, you know, a client calls me and says they've moved in and they're full of, you know, they're having tons of allergic reactions, they can't just call you up and have a
we
single.
could do a standalone, yeah.
Yeah.
We could do a standalone. yeah.
Those are,
We don't get a ton of requests, so I'd have to go back and find out what that would be. But yeah, I'd be happy to do a standalone Hermes test.
If you do detect mold in the home, what's next step?
Then it's up to the client to determine how they want to mitigate.
Ballpark of how much like mitigation can be, or is it like
That's
rate?
$1,000.
That's out of my league. Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah, it could be.
About all the drywall, like it, so.
No, Fade, how should I answer that question?
He's a quick learner, man.
Yeah.
He's a quick learner.
Sure have the other prices as far as these different,
It's all on the website, yeah, yep. Questions? Yeah, typically what we find when we do that air sample is just like penicillin, which is kind of everywhere. Generally speaking, it's not a ton of other, I mean, unless we walk in and we see organic growth, like, oh, this is gonna be the best.
Control mushrooms growing on the
Yeah,
wall.
it's like,
yeah.
Thank you very
Okay.
much.
Awesome. Thanks, Dave. All right, we got just a few minutes before we jump on with James Shaw. So I'm gonna go over a couple of things quickly if I can get on there, Rob. We do have the CE class tomorrow. That is 9 to 12. That is free. MLS and Command 101. That's gonna be next week, Tuesday, 11 to 12, right here. Is that on Zoom as well or just in person? Okay, that will be on Zoom as well with Piper and Rob. One thing I'm gonna bring up, and I didn't want to distract you before James Shaw, but I'm gonna do it anyway. This will be in the recap email. Today and today only, if you do sign up for Phil Jones training, which is May 1st, we'll take $10 off your, what month is it? April agent billing. That is for today and today only. So if you register today for Phil Jones on May 1st, we'll take $10 off your billing. General session is the morning, it's $199. VIP is $499. I will tell you this, his training that he does in New York that he packs out and completely sells out is $5,000. It's a one-day training. It's gonna be well worth the $199 or $499 if you choose to use that. So again, May 1st, it's at the JW Marriott with Phil Jones. For those of you who don't know Phil Jones, he's written the book and know exactly what to say in real estate. He has a number of other training platforms. He's the one who has the flashcards that we've used in the past about how to have conversations with your clients. He is a partner with KW. He's not KW only, but he is a partner with KW and is at a lot of our trainings. Any questions about Phil Jones or what that training will entail? May or may not have the answer, but I can try to help answer. Okay, today and today only, $10 off. Shed and Shed is May 3rd. I know the cutoff for postcards has already happened. Do we know when those come in?
Should be here no later than tomorrow. We can go pick them up. So.
There you go. They will be here tomorrow, Friday at the latest, if you ordered postcards.
Did anyone wanting t-shirts or shred bags? Raise your hand that has not ordered them. I'm shutting it down.
Shutting it down.
Alright.
It's official. Referral contest, I'm gonna jump into that. Actually, I'll just do it right now. If you recall, about 2 weeks ago, we talked about getting that second TV up here. And the contest is that will be bought as soon as we get 100 referrals. We're currently at 3. It's a start. I believe it was Jay in here a couple weeks ago made the comment, how many agents do you have? You can't get one referral from everybody? I like that comment. And it hasn't happened yet. We're gonna try and keep it top of mind. Again, up there you'll see copy them intro email or text with myself, currently licensed agents not with KW, or Rob for agents who are looking to get licensed. And we'll make sure to get those referral up there. That referral will count once they sign up for Kaplan.
and an added bonus is on our top 5 Wednesday meetings, you will get to spin this lovely wheel for your referrals.
Lovely
So-
wheel. There you go. All kinds of fun stuff on
So you
that.
should do it.
You should do it. See on? Okay. We're gonna jump in right now to James Shaw. Rob's gonna pop him on there. James, you able to hear me?
Yeah, what's up?
Right on. How we doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Good. We're doing really well. Thanks
Awesome.
for being here today. I'll give credit to Carly Lundeen. She was on your call a few weeks ago. Said that you offered up some time with us. So thanks for being on, and I'm just gonna let you take it from here.
Well, my schedule is full now. 2 whole market centers took us up on that. So
I'm glad to be one of them.
I'm glad that you're one of them as well. And I thank you for the invitation. I always love your group. First of all, you were talking about Phil Jones. I will tell you, I paid the $5,000 to go sit with Phil in New York and take his session. If you can take it for $199, I would just tell you from a person who sat in the room and then from someone in my role who talks to real estate agents every day, most real estate agents think they are better at overcoming objections than they are. And most of you, this might be early for me to say this, but most of you stink at it. Like you're really bad. And the reason you're really bad is because you tell instead of ask questions and are curious about where people are coming from. And if you're sitting there going, well, that's not me, it's definitely you. And I know this because I asked a question inside of Pivot Shift Ahead that said, what's the biggest objection you're experiencing in your business right now? And the answers were coming in like crazy, and most of them were pretty basic, and people were trying to answer them, and then Phil came in and answered them because Phil's very active in Pivot Shift Ahead, and it was night and day difference. We've got to get better at communicating with people. So if you're available, is this your region is doing this? Is that what's happening?
Correct.
Yeah. Where is it?
The JW Marriott,
But where? Close to you?
the airport. Yep.
Yeah. Take it, please. Y'all. Just go. I beg you. I might fly up for it. That's how good it is.
Get your ticket if you do, James.
Yeah, thank you. I want $10 off my bill. All right, here's the deal. So thank you for having me. My name is James Shaw. I lead a Facebook community called Pivot Shift Ahead. Now I can only see 5 people. There are 6 people. I can see only 6 people. Are there only 6 people there?
No.
Okay. But at least for the 6 people I see, you'll be my sample size. How many of you are members of the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group? Raise your hand if you're a member of Pivot Shift Ahead. Okay, 2 out of the 6. The rest of you, what is your problem? Are you smarter than everybody else? I mean, seriously. Oh, now we're zooming out. Pivot Shift Ahead is my Facebook group I created at the start of the pandemic. It has 122,000 members. So if you aren't one of them, you are weird. So go join the group. Go open your Facebook app on your phone and type in Pivot Shift Ahead and you'll find it. Now, some of you are like, I don't want to be part of another Facebook group that all they do is complain about interest rates and ask for referrals for Boise and talk about other brokerages. We're not doing that. I created Pivot going into the pandemic because we needed a place where we all could connect and mastermind and strategize and get ideas about how to succeed. And as part of that, I've been hosting a free mastermind call every single weekday morning since March 16th of 2020 for 20 minutes that anyone can attend. Who's ever been on one of my calls? Raise your hand if you've ever been on one of my calls. Good for you. More hands have been on the call than are a member of the group. That's interesting to me. So I encourage you to get on our calls. We had a great call today about understanding how to work from a sense of priority. We did it in honor of the 12th anniversary of the One Thing book. And while it's not necessarily a KW group, I'm 20 years Keller Williams, and so we do a lot of KW in there because that's who I work for and that's who you work for. So I'd encourage you to get in. And one thing we did over the last month, we did a piece called Back on Track. And that came because I asked the group of 122,000 people, how many of you are on track, behind, or ahead of your goal plan for the year? And this is a good question to ask as we've wrapped up a quarter. It's really easy to know where you are. So I'll ask you, are you ahead, behind, or on track? Raise your hand if you're ahead of goal for the year. You're ahead. I see 2 hands maybe, and I can't see the whole. Oh, someone's getting fancy with the camera. This is amazing. 2 hands. Okay. Raise your, was that ahead? Is that what I had asked? Ahead? Yeah. Raise your hand if you're on pace right now. Like you are on pace. 2 more hands. The guy in the gray had to think about it. Look, you're pregnant or not pregnant? Like, are you on track or not on track? It's, Raise your hand if you're behind goal. Raise your hand if you're behind goal. Okay, all right. So that's an alert to me. First, I would say if you're behind goal, then you need to leverage free tools that are available to you to use. One of those is your team meeting that you're in right now. So cheers to you for choosing to be in your team meeting. But next, I would say pop on my call. Now, you guys are Central Time. Is that right? It's 11:25 there? Yeah. So my call's at 7 o'clock Central, 8 Eastern, 7 Central. But you can, it's 20 minutes. You can listen to it while you're getting ready. Just leave your camera off. We've had 7 naked people in 5 years, and I don't want you to be number 8. Or listen to it as you're driving the kids to school because it's family friendly and safe. But get that 20 minutes to get some ideas and some mindset that will help you. The way you can access the call, by the way, is be part of Pivot Shift Ahead on Facebook. So if you're not, go join it and I'll add you. I have to manually add every person. So go join the Facebook group. And then if you want, and I'm sure someone can send out the link, but write this down. Write down jamesdshaw.com. James D, my middle initial, Shaw, SHAW.com. And when you go there, there'll be a big blue button that says join our free daily call. And if you just click on that, it'll give you the Zoom link and you're good to go. The Zoom usually fills. My Zoom holds 1,000. Like today we were at 970, so it often will fill on Zoom. And so if you can't get on the Zoom, I live stream it into the Pivot Shift Ahead Facebook group. So if you're behind goal, I would say leverage the free tools that are available to you to use. But then the next would be to get clarity about how to get back on track. And so I did a 5-part series on our morning call. We took 5 days in a row and we unpacked these kind of 5 ways that I think you can get back on track. And this comes from my 20 years at Keller Williams. I was an agent on the top selling team in the company for 3 years. We were the #1 agent in Keller Williams in 2006. I was a team leader for 8, including having the #1 market center in the South Florida region. Also happened to be the top real estate office in Tampa and the #1 Keller Williams office in the state of Florida. I was a MAPS coach. I was a bold coach for 7 years. I never got to do bold up by you guys. That was always a bold I wanted to do, but it never panned out. And then I've been leading Pivot for 5 years. So I interact with agents every day, and we took the stuff from MREA and Shift and the One Thing and what I've done with all the agents, and we came up with these 5 ways. So if you're behind goal, write these down. But if you're ahead, write them down too. Because is it possible to be ahead and lose?
Yes.
Yeah, it happens all the time. My Colts once were up on the Vikings by like 72 touchdowns and still lost. That was like 2 years ago. Do you remember that? So you can be up and lose. Can you be behind and win? Say yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. You have to talk back to me. Can you be on track and lose? Like all those things are true. So just write them down. Here's number 1. The #1 strategy, if you're behind on your goal, is to double down on your standard. That's number 1. Write it down. Double down on your what? Standard. Well, we've got to get clarity about what is a standard because I think sometimes we get confused about a standard. Notice I didn't say double down on contacts or double down on listings taken or double down on appointments because I don't know what you're doing daily to measure the success of your business. You might be someone that's hey, I need to hit so many contacts a day. Maybe that's your standard. Or you may be someone that says, I need to take so many listings a week. That's your standard. Or I want to go in so many listing appointments a month. That's your standard. I don't know what is the key measurement for the success of your business, but I do know that you have a standard. Now let's use one as an example. I'm going to count to 3, and I am asking for full participation. Do you guys do, like, when you come to a team meeting, are you one of those people that's just like, oh good, this got me out of having to do something for an hour and there's a free lunch? Or are you somebody that's committed to growth and learning and improving? Raise your hand if you're committed to growth, learning, and improving. Raise your hand up high, raise it up high, raise it up high, okay? Raise your hand if you're here only for the lunch.
There's no lunch.
Oh, there is no lunch. Why isn't there a lunch, y'all? We need to get on that. Raise your hand if you're not going to raise your hand real quick. Raise your hand if you're not going to raise your hand. Okay. All right, good. All right, so since you're committed to growth and learning, and that's why you came, I trust I'll have 100% participation in this very simple exercise that I'm going to ask you to do, and it's this. I'm going to count to 3. When I count to 3, every person in the room is going to shout out their listing taken standard for the month. So each month, I need to take so many listings. Only you know what that number is. That number is only relevant to you. Like whatever the person sitting next to you's number is, doesn't have anything to do with you. So we don't have any judgment about anyone's number. It's just your number that's based on your goal. And if you haven't ever come up with that, then call me and we need to have a different conversation. But I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to shout out your number for listings taken, your standard. Your listings taken standard for the month. I'm going to count to 3 and you're going to shout it out. Are you ready? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I'm stalling because some of you have to come up with a number. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Was there 100% participation in that?
Yes.
Yes or no?
So,
I think so.
I don't think there was because I just saw the one lady shake her head no who didn't shout out the number. So we have to do it again. I'm serious. I want 100% participation. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Perfect. Your number is perfect for you. Oh, happy day. I'm excited for you. Whether it's 1 or 73, I don't really care what the number is. Now do me a favor and raise your hand if you did not hit your listing standard in March. In other words, the number you just shouted out is higher than the number of listings you took in March. Raise your hand if that's you. Raise your hand up high. If the number you just shouted out is higher than the number of listings you took in March, raise your hand up high. Be proud of it. Be like you're at church. Like, come on, here we go. Okay, good. There's more hands down than I normally see, so cheers to you, unless your standard was 0. But I want to make sure we understand the definition of a standard. See, sometimes when we hear standard, you think, oh, that would be nice. But a standard is the least you will settle for. That's a standard. The standard is what?
the least.
So if you told me your standard was 2, but you took 1, what's your standard?
2.
No. If you told me your standard was 2, but you took 1, what is your standard?
1.
It's 1. Why?
That's all you did.
You settled for it.
The least.
Now, I'm not mad at you. See, some of you have a standard that isn't a standard. That you say it's 2, but really the standard is 1. So just say it's 1. But make sure that your standard has meaning. See, when I was a team leader, I was a good team leader for 8 years. And do you know how you can tell someone was a good team leader? They'll tell you they were. And so I was a good team leader. And I would meet people and I'd say, hey, tell me, so, how many homes do you want to sell? And they go, I want to sell 24. And I go, cool, that's awesome. How did you come up with that? Well, I think I could probably do 2 a month. Is that how we're setting goals now? I think I can probably. Now, who's ever set their goal like that? Raise your hand. Ever in your career? I have. Yeah. Oh, I think I can probably. That's not a goal. That goal has no meaning at all. And the likelihood of you reaching it is really low because it doesn't matter if you do or don't. But how we make sure we reach a goal is we make sure it has meaning. You do something that Gene Rivers has taught us. How many of you know my friend Gene Rivers? Raise your hand, you know my friend Gene Rivers. And he's taught this concept called the LID, L-I-D. Write this down, LID, L-I-D. And the LID is this idea that you kind of figure out these 3 elements of your world to give you what your money needs to look like. And the L stands for lifestyle. So what is your lifestyle going to cost? In other words, how often do you get Starbucks? How often do you go out to eat? Where are you going on vacation? Are you buying new clothes this year? Is your kid involved in extracurriculars? Like my daughter is in competitive dance. $600 a month is that bill, not including the conventions and all that kind of stuff. So, what extracurriculars are your kids in? Are you going to do any renovations to your home that you want to do? I have a whole spreadsheet that you can go and type in all the different things of what your monthly and annual spend is on your lifestyle. And then I stands for investing. So what are you going to put away for retirement? Are you going to buy an investment property this year? But how much money do you plan to invest that year? And we have a spreadsheet that lists all kind of the different ideas. And then D stands for debt. So what is your debt obligation going to be this year? Your largest debt obligation every year is your taxes. So that accounts for taxes, your mortgage. Do you have credit cards you're paying off? Do you have student loans you're paying off? Do you have any medical debt you're paying off? car loans, stuff like that. And we have a spreadsheet again that lists them all. And you take all those and add them together, and that'll give you a number. Let's pretend it's $300,000. So to fund your lifestyle, do the investing, hit the investing goals you want to do, and pay the debt that you're going to have to pay this year, including taxes. Let's say you have to make $300,000 net out of the business. And so then you take that $300,000 and then you go open the economic model from the Millionaire Real Estate Agent. Are you familiar with that book? You all heard of that book, Millionaire Real Estate Agent? And you open the economic model and you plug it in there. And then when you plug that number in, it'll say, well, if you want your net to be 300,000, you need your gross to be 400,000. And then in order to do 400,000 based on your average commission price, you need to sell 36 homes. And in order to sell 36 homes, you need to take 2 listings a month. Like, it will tell you that. Does that goal have meaning?
Yes.
Right. So that's different than, I think I can do 2 a month. And so if you're in a space right now where you're going, yeah, I think I can do that, but your goal doesn't have any meaning, go back and do that. Go figure out your lid. Go plug that into the economic model and play with it. Now, I have I don't know, it's like 45 minutes maybe. It's free that you can go watch how I explain in much detail about how to do it. So if you write down Thrive, THRIVE, .jamesdshaw.com, thrive.jamesdshaw.com. I don't know, it's like 30 minutes maybe, I don't remember. And you can go watch a video I did on how to figure all this out. It's free. I'm not going to spam you. Just go watch it. All right, so you have to, if you're behind, you have to make sure the standard has meaning, whatever that is. But if you're behind, you have to what? Double down on the standard. Now, if that's a contacts a day for you, then double down on your contacts a day. If it's a listing appointment a week, then double down on your listing appointment a week. And then what you do is you recognize that you cannot really change what you're doing, like move to a different activity, until you've hit whatever standard that is. That's number 1. Number 2, so number 1, double down on your standard. Number 2, master your follow-up and pipeline conversion. So number 2 is master your follow-up and pipeline conversion. Now, I've known Gary Keller a long time. I worked for him for a year when I was the VP of Learning at KWRI. And I've heard Gary say many, many, many times that most top agents don't actually have to lead generate more. They need to follow up with the leads that they have, that they just need to convert. And who's ever had a lead that they lost because you forgot to call them, or when you did call them, they had already done something? Raise your hand if that's ever happened to you. Yeah, and it's really frustrating, isn't it? Because we want to make sure we help them. And then people go, well, but the other side of that is I don't want to annoy them or pester them or get on their nerves. And so I don't want to feel like I'm a, I don't know, crazy face cream lady that only wants to sell them face cream. So go, how do you do that? Here's the script. And you can text this script. You can send it as a video message if you want, like send a video text. You can DM it, or you can call and say it. But you just go through every single lead that you have that has not yet moved forward, and you text, video text, DM, call, whatever, and you just say this simple thing. Hey, so-and-so, are you writing this down? Hey,
Yes.
so-and-so, the last time we talked, you told me your plan was to do blank, whatever they told you. Is that still your plan? The last time we talked, you told me your plan was to do blank. Is that still your plan? Now, here's what that allows you to find out. It allows you to find out if that's still their plan. Because sometimes you talk to someone and they said, hey, we want to put our home on the market in the summer. And you call them in, I don't know what you call summer where you are, 2 weeks in August? I have no idea. But you call them in mid-May, and they're like, oh, we listed our house in March. And you're like, but you told me summer. Well, their plan changed. Or they say, yep, our plan is still May, and now you know when to talk to them. So the last time we talked, you told me your plan was to do blank. Is that still your plan? Then you take whatever day they tell you, whatever date or time frame they tell you, and cut it in half. What do? You take whatever time frame they tell you and do what? And that's when you follow up with them next. But you never wait longer than 90 days. So the follow-up plan for your pipeline is, the last time we talked, you told me your plan was to do blank. Is that still your plan? Yes or no? Whatever they tell you, cut it in half, and that's when you follow up. You never wait longer than 90 days. And your follow-up call is, the last time we talked, you told me your plan was to do blank. Is that still your plan? And you can send that as a text or whatever. That's number 2. Master your follow-up and conversion. Number 3, build listings quickly. Look, if you want to control your time, you've got to be a listing-based agent. MREA says that an individual, a highly leveraged individual agent, a highly leveraged what? Individual agent. So not a team. A highly leveraged individual agent can maintain 15 to 25 seller listings a month. They would be hard pressed to work with 5 to 7 buyers a month at the same scale. A highly leveraged individual agent can work with 15 to 25 seller listings per month. We have got to ramp up our listing inventory in this market, period. So what I would suggest you do is go do an inventory of your lead generation strategy and ask, is my strategy focused on getting me listing appointments? And then I'd go back to that standard conversation and I'd make a small tweak to your standard. Instead of having a standard that is contact-based, now I was a bulb coach for 8 years, 7 years. That was a go do your 20 contacts a day. And I'm telling you, don't worry about that. Push that to the side. And instead, make your standard this. 1 new listing appointment scheduled, or 1 qualified seller lead added to the pipeline daily. And by daily, I just mean the days you work. So whatever your work days are, you're working a 5-day week, then 5 times. You're working a 4-day week, it doesn't matter to me. But let's move away from a contact goal and instead say my new standard is I'm going to either schedule a listing appointment or add a real seller listing lead to my pipeline every day. That's turning your focus to listings. Because see, now when you go do an open house, you're no longer doing an open house with the idea to meet buyers. You're doing the open house with the idea to meet sellers. And you would operate your open house differently if your goal was to meet potential sellers than buyers. Like you wouldn't skip door knocking in the neighborhood before the open house, because that would be the #1 strategy you would use before an open house to meet other potential sellers. So like you would look at that whole piece a little bit differently. So that's number 3, build your listings fast. Number 4, I don't know how much time I have, by the way. I'm just on a roll. Can I keep going?
Yeah, I do.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Because if this stinks, I can stop now and just not give you the last 2. Number 4 is implement a results-oriented schedule. Implement a results-oriented schedule. Now, if you want to see a results-oriented schedule, how many of you have Instagram? Raise your hand if you have Instagram. Raise your hand if you have the Instagram. Okay, go open your Instagram and follow James D. Shaw. James D. Shaw. And I posted my morning routine this morning on my Instagram. And I'm all about results-oriented schedules. So go watch it later. Don't watch it right now, but go follow James D. Shaw on Instagram and you can see my results-oriented schedule. But I think you have to ask the question, am I doing the next right thing? I love that thought. The next right, do the next right thing. Do the next right thing. Like if you get up in the morning and you do the next right thing from the moment you get up, and then just every moment you're doing the next right thing, then I think you're going to be in really good shape. And I think the first thing you would do, this is why my call is at the time it is, 7 o'clock your time. Because if you get on my call from 7 to 7:30, it's a lot easier to go do the next right thing for you because you've already started it in a way that has your mindset open to opportunity. So figure out what your daily activity needs to be. Now, what we do, in addition to Pivot Shift Ahead, which I trust all of you are members of, I have a private mastermind community of about 1,200 members called the Inspire Collective. Do I have anybody in the room that's an Inspire member? Any Inspire members in the room? Thank you, ladies. I love you. Cheers to you. We have 2 Inspire members in the room. Those 2, I think there's just 2. That's all I saw. Those 2 ladies pay $99 a month to be part of my private mastermind community. And we meet every Tuesday. We did our Q1 review yesterday. We had a whole process to do a Q1 review. And we have, in fact, we start our next challenge on Monday. And in the challenge, we teach a points system. It's a point system where we've given point values to everything you could possibly do in your business. If you take a listing, it's worth a number of points. If you schedule a listing appointment, it's worth a number of points. Every, 5 people from your database you talk to is worth points. If you do an open house, it's worth points. If you get a price reduction, that gives you point value. Like all these different things give points. And the goal is to get 30 points a day. It doesn't matter how you do it, just go get 30 points every day. We had one member that says her goal is to just get 120 points a week. Like, I don't really care how you do it, but that would be a results-oriented schedule. Like, I just get up and I'm going to go get after my 30 points. If you're interested in more about Inspire, the ladies can tell you later. I'm not here to sell something. The ladies can tell you, or there's some info on my website. But we do stuff like that all the time, and it's about trying to help you make sure you have the tools you need to succeed. But I'd ask you to go look and say, is what I'm doing right now moving me closer to my goal or further away? Have a results-oriented schedule. Finally, number 5. Number 5 is elevate your mindset and energy. Elevate your mindset and your energy and act like a top producer now. Ask yourself, what is the top agent in my office doing right now? Like when you're coming and getting up in the morning, getting after it, just ask, if I were going to be the top agent in my office, is what I'm doing right now getting me on the path to that? Now, I know that you may not necessarily want to be the top agent in your office. I don't have judgment around your goals. Your goal may be to sell 200 homes a year or 12 homes a year. And whatever goal you have picked is right for you. You be you, boo. I don't really care what the goal is. But I do want you to behave like you're elite. Because when you behave like you are elite, you put yourself on the path to reach your goals. Now, if you like this, I have 20 minutes on all 5 topics. Like each 5 topics has its own 20-minute session that we did on our call. It's free. You can just go watch it. It's set up as a YouTube playlist. You don't even have to give me your email address to watch it. backontrack.jamesdshaw.com. backontrack.jamesdshaw.com will take you straight to all 5. Honestly, they would make good team meetings if you wanted to show like the 20-minute video and then mastermind around each one. You could do that in a team meeting. But I'm here to help. I hope this was of value to you. Your Zoom, the way it's set up, it's hard for me to hear you, so I'm not going to take ahas or something like that. Normally I would, but it's just a little garbly. But I will give you my cell phone number, and you can always text me your aha, or if you have a question or want to share something with me. My cell phone number is 813-523-8459. 813-523-8459. You're welcome to reach out. You can watch my morning routine. I think you'll enjoy it on my Instagram at James D. Shaw. And I hope to see you inside of Pivot Shift Ahead and on our calls. Thank you. Good luck to everybody there. See you later. Bye-bye.